Welcome to Critical DMG, a podcast about two best friends who might have grown up but never grew out of their love for the Game Boy. We will be playing and reviewing every North American title released on Nintendo's original handheld console. This is episode 17, and I guess it's about time to talk about how we feel about swamps.
Okay, and I'm Jeff, and today we're going to be talking about Revenge of the Gator, which is pinball. So, pinball in the swamp. But before we get into that, Tony, can you remind us what our quiz question from last week was?
I sure can. So last week, the episode was Malibu Beach Volleyball, and our question for the audience for that episode was about a Famicom, which again is the Japanese name and version for the original Nintendo, for anyone not aware. A Famicom volleyball game came out within a couple years after Malibu Beach Volleyball, but it was more squarely aimed at young kids, and the reason for this is that it acquired a huge license, and even though it was only available in Japan, it featured a lot of colorful characters from this fan favorite franchise. And the question was, which licensed property did all of these characters come from? Jeff, any ideas?
No. Random guesses could abound, but I don't have any solid one.
That's fair. The answer is they're from Sanrio. So Hello Kitty and her friends playing volleyball. The game was called Sanrio Cup Pon Pon Volley.
Ooh.
And it features Hello Kitty, Kuropi, Pochako, and Mina no Tabo as playable characters. It actually did get a fan translation all the way back in 2008, which is pretty cool. And it looks really cute, if nothing else.
I was about to say, it sounds adorable, but...
Yeah, it looks adorable. It's one of the horizontal volleyball court style instead of vertical like Malibu Beach Volleyball was, which I think is actually the more common that I've seen.
I think so, yeah. At least for the early ones.
Right.
So, with our listener question out of the way, Tony, quick opinion, should someone play pinball as a gator?
I am going to say yes.
I'm going to say absolutely not. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. But before we do that, can you give us the back of the box read?
Yeah, I can. Wow. Okay. We're not burying the lead here. Revenge of the Gator. And that's apostrophe Gator, just for anybody not seeing the typographic on this one.
That made searching it so much harder.
Yeah.
I guess maybe back in the day, abbreviating alligator to just gator wasn't, popular, but I did not like the apostrophe.
Yeah, I kept forgetting. Or I would sandwich that between other apostrophe or quotations and things, and it just looks so weird. Anyway, back in the box, Revenge of the Gator, and then it actually says Revenge of the Gator 2 times. Gators galore, 8 scrolling screens, secret entrances to bonus areas, hungry gators that unexpectedly swallow your ball and move it to a new screen. All in a package you can slip into a pocket and take with you anywhere. You'd need a pinball machine the size of the Everglades to hold all this excitement. King of the Bayou or Gator Bait, this pinball game's got all the options.
Straightforward.
Right. I think it's pretty cute.
Yeah. So it released in March of 1990. HAL Laboratory was the dev for it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I couldn't really find a whole lot else about the background and whatnot. It's a pinball game. Seemed to be pretty well received.
I'm most excited that it's our first HAL game. We're going to see HAL Laboratories a lot more throughout playing these games on the Game Boy. So I didn't know that this was their first release on this system. For anybody who the name might maybe ring a bell and you can't quite place it, HAL Laboratories is the company that brought us Kirby.
Oh, okay.
So we will definitely be seeing them later on.
And I think we'll see a Kirby pinball game in the future as well. So I guess they were getting ready.
I know. I think that's actually pretty neat to think that this was like a first run at that sort of thing.
Anything else on the background or anything else you want to say, or should we just jump into the mechanics?
No, I am ready to duke it out with you on this one in the mechanical section.
All right, let's do it. So, a quick breakdown. You're playing pinball. You have a ball that is moving towards the bottom of the screen. You have flippers. You're trying to get it to not go to the bottom of the screen. A and B control the plunger. So if you hold them, the plunger will go down, shoot the ball into the level, and then A and B control your right flipper, and the D-pad controls your left flipper. So pretty much easy as could be as far as controls are concerned. The buttons on the right side control the right thing. The buttons on the left side control the left thing. Tony, do you know your high score? Did you write it down?
I did not write it down, but I made sure that I was looking at my footage. I always try to play this in 2 different settings. And the first time I didn't keep track of my score. It's recorded in footage somewhere, so I could find it if I really want. It'll be in the video, I think, so you can tab my score both times. But the first time I don't remember. The second time my score was, I want to say 230,000 points.
Okay.
Not like super, super high, because I think the high score table that they show you can get into, I think the highest one is like 500,000 or 1,000,000 points. I forget.
Yeah, I think you're correct. Yeah, I think it's 500,000.
Yeah, so my highest score was somewhere in like the 230,000 range.
Okay, yeah, I was a little higher. I think mine was like 289 or something like that.
Nice.
That game took around 10 minutes of play. I will say this is probably the least amount I've played a game before coming on to the show to talk about it. And the reason for that is it turns out I really dislike pinball. I know earlier in the series when we started talking about sports games, I had mentioned how those are potentially one of my least favorite genres. Turns out pinball is probably my least favorite genre of games.
Oh no.
It was a pinball game and I just got very bored of it very quickly. So
yeah, anybody that has listened to the show for a while has definitely come to realize, and I think, Jeff, you've mentioned this in a previous episode, that we don't confer our thoughts on the games before we record. We try to go in keeping our opinions to ourselves. I sort of had a feeling that this game, and this probably goes for everybody, not just you, but this was definitely going to be, do you or do you not like pinball? Because that's all that there is here. If you do not like pinball, there is nothing about this game that's going to change your mind.
Exactly.
So it was just basically coming to this episode wondering, does Jeff like pinball? Is that what the problem is going to be here?
It turns out no. No, I do not.
It turns out no.
And I will say, as far as pinball games are concerned, I feel like this was a good one. It felt responsive.
For sure.
Felt like the physics were correct. It didn't feel super floaty. It felt good. But personally, I feel like I would rather it be a mini game in another larger game than a standalone title.
Ah, okay. So I want to segue on your mention of the mini games, because you got a pretty high score. So you must have interacted with at least some of the minigame rooms on the board, correct?
Yeah.
I think that they were really cute. And they actually kind of shook up the pinball flow, because even though you were still just knocking the pinball around with the flippers on the table, they were offering a little bit of variety. Of the 3, I think my favorite was where there were a bunch of gator eggs and you had to knock the pinball into them to make the gators hatch.
Oh, yeah.
But even as much as I like the mini games, it's still just pinball.
Yeah, exactly.
You are still beholden to all of the randomness and the uncontrollableness of pinball. Once your ball has left the flipper, there is nothing that you can do but hope that it goes where you want it to go and that nothing gets in the way or knocks it around too much. And, that's really frustrating if you are not someone who just appreciates pinball for what it is. So
100%. Again, I did feel like the physics felt pretty good of
they do.
Where you hit the ball, when you hit the ball, kind of being able to aim it. I feel like it felt better in this game than other pinball games that we've played or that I've played.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you're just playing pinball. You have, I think the back of the box said 8 play areas or screens.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 bonus screens, which you had mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And then I find it kind of funny because one of the screens of the 8 is kind of the lose screen or the death screen.
Yeah.
Where a gator just eats your ball. So maybe a little cheeky with calling it 8 playing areas. But yeah, then you have 4 kind of normal areas, which I didn't get to one of them, and I only got to one of the bonus screens.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, again, I learned that I don't really like pinball, so I didn't need to spend a whole lot of time playing to kind of get my thoughts around this.
And I do like pinball, for the record. I like digital pinball. I like IRL table pinball. So that was not an issue for me. Like, I knew what I was getting into as far as how uncontrollable the outcomes of things were really going to be ultimately. But the game feels good no matter where you're knocking the ball around. And that's a little difficult to do in digital pinball sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And even when compared to a game like Alleyway, which we played in the beginning, where you are also kind of paddling a ball around, in that game, the ball can only go very specific directions, no matter where you approach it from. Pinball, that's not the case. You will have the ball bouncing all over the board, in and out of the loops and bouncing off of all the obstacles, and it feels very natural. So, like, if you like pinball, the feeling is there, and it feels good to play with, but nothing mechanically that it does is anything other than pinball. There's no, like, secret modes, there's no transition screens or anything like that. There's nothing at all except pinball. So if that's not something you're into, no amount of smooth mechanisms of a pinball table is going to make the pinball game any more enjoyable for you.
Yeah, and it does follow kind of the, I guess, tradition of pinball, with each screen has kind of like a bonus game in it or something that you're trying to figure out. So either you're trying to clear all the eggs to get the gator to fall, to then be able to hit it to get bonus points, or get rid of all of one type of thing, so then it unlocks the next screen. You know, it does have all those little like mini games and side games that pinball is supposed to have, but it is still pinball.
I do think that it does things here digitally that would be, difficult to replicate on an IRL tabletop.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's something worth the cost of admission, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to like about the mini games and all of the special things that you can hit. There's gators on the side that you can scrunch their snouts, and there's like fish that come out that the ball can get knocked into and it'll teleport to different sides of the screen. Like, there's a lot around the table in such a small space. One
thing that I assume neither of us got the ability to play is it actually has 2 different game modes. It has the game mode that we've been talking about, which is, I think, Gator mode or whatever, which is just classic pinball. But then it also has a match play mode, which is, I guess, with a game link, video link. What is the...
We're just going to go with game link or link cable.
Okay. With the cable, you can play kind of, like one-on-one battle pinball.
I wanted to try this so bad.
I think that looked like it would have been really fun because it, according to the manual, it even has power-ups and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been a much more fun version of the game to play for me, but alas, we don't have a video link cable and all of that fun stuff. But I think that would have been a fun game mode.
I wanted to try it really bad. I was looking to see if there was any kind of like a net play option for that, but there's not. And it looked so intriguing from what I read about it in the manual and everything. I really wish that, I had 2 copies and a link cable and everything else to try. I'm sure my 9-year-old would love that mode. So it would have been really cool because you're not playing pinball in the way that you do in the single player mode or in the it's like a pass and play multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
In the match play, like the head-to-head mode, it's almost more like air hockey or
exactly. Yeah.
Like table soccer, like something like that where you are shooting the pinball back and forth at targets on the opponent's side instead. Like, man, if I ever got my hands on the proper equipment and everything else to play that head-to-head, I would definitely want to give it a try because that seems so cool.
Yeah, it definitely looked like the game mode that I would like better, but we'll just have to, I guess, dream about it for now. The last thing I kind of wanted to bring up for the mechanics, which is not fully mechanics, but the manual does a really good job of telling you kind of what each screen is, showing you each screen, and kind of letting you know what the mini game or whatever is in those screens, which I think it was relatively obvious in a lot of them for this pinball game. But I've definitely had pinball games before where I just suddenly get 2x score and I have no idea why. And I liked that the manual kind of broke everything down and really made it easy to see, because a lot of times when you're playing pinball, you can't necessarily be looking at your score, looking at your ball, looking at all the different things.
Oh, sure.
So I appreciated that.
I did too, because sometimes with these manuals, if they don't have a lot to say about whatever the game needs explained, whether it's the controls or they don't have a story to really go along with it, or they don't really have a lot of things that they want to describe for the player, they can be really thin.
Yeah.
It's like all of the Nintendo warnings and that sort of stuff and the hotline number and all those things, but the actual like meat of the manual can be pretty sparse. So I really like in this one that they didn't have to really describe all of those things. It would not have been outside the realm of that era of video games for their manual to maybe lean in on some cute story stuff, but just not describe all of the mini games and all of the scene transition stuff. But they did. They took the time to do that. And yeah, it means that if you are interested in the mechanics of how you get score multipliers, how you are able to get to the bonus scenes and all of those different things that are part and parcel for the table that you're playing on, it's in a manual, and that's pretty cool. Yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was a good touch, and I think that's all I have for this section. Is there anything else you want to talk about the mechanics?
Nope, I think I am ready for the ad break, and then we're going to talk about how the pinball looks.
All right, let's do it.
Ad break. It's gotta sound at least kinda official.
Always. You can start whenever.
Okay. Here at Critical DMG, we primarily focus on the Game Boy's past, but we also love to support the Game Boy games of here and now. And there's enough of them around these days that finding ones you'd like to play and getting them into your hands can be a little frustrating.
That's where Playtiles come in. Playtiles are tiny, portable gamepads that you stick right onto your smartphone's touchscreen. It temporarily transforms your phone into a portable gaming console, with heaps of curated indie releases at your fingertips. No cables or batteries required.
Focusing on an ecosystem of supporting and promoting homebrew games, you'll receive new titles to play each week as part of Playtiles' seasonal mixtape. all of which are yours to keep and were developed by independent creators paid for adding them to the Playtiles catalog.
Pre-orders for Playtiles are open now. You can reserve yours, as well as learn more about how they work, at Get Playtiles. That's GET.PLAYTIL.ES.
Cool.
I think they'll like that.
You know, I'm pretty sure that Playtiles would work with any touchscreen surface similar to your phone.
You think so?
As soon as I get my hands on one, my Vita and I are gonna find out.
Shoot, I think the mic's still on.
What? Oh. And we're back. So, in the aesthetics section, I do have to say that pretty much all of my notes are on this because I have a lot to talk about. And we're going to start with the music. The title track in the very beginning, when the game first opens, is adorable.
Agreed.
Very charming. The music inside the game, not so much. It's not bad, I will say. I don't want to give the wrong impression. It's not bad. I just would call it probably unmemorable. It didn't really stick out in one way or another, but it's not like I disliked it. It's just, you know, I could have taken it or left it.
It's funny that you said it's unmemorable because I didn't make a note on it, and as soon as we started this section, I was like, "Oh, what is the music? What I don't remember."
Thank you, proving my point in real time, ladies and everybody.
Which, you know, again, typically that is what I expect. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to music most of the time.
Sure.
So if I don't remember it, at least it wasn't bad. But yeah, aside from the title screen, could not tell you anything about the music of this game.
And that's, you know, I kind of expected that, just from the record that we have here for all the rest of the games. And another thing that I am sort of expecting, which I am ready to be let down about, is what did you think of all of the sounds here? Because I thought that they were actually really, really good. But I know that you hated Alleyway, so I'm a little concerned here.
No, I thought they were good. They matched what I thought they should have. And I don't think there was any really jarring or quick succession. The thing I didn't like about Alleyway is when it bounced back and forth on a very, I guess, short timetable. It became a lot of sounds all at once. I feel like this didn't have that problem. And yeah, I thought all the sound effects were good. They matched what I thought they should, and they sounded good.
I think that the big difference from this game and Alleyway in the sound design and how the ball bouncing around is like represented audibly is there's a lot more notes on a much lower register here than there were in Alleyway.
Okay, I could see that.
So even when things are like bouncing around, the sounds aren't just like really high, like metallic or like almost glassy kind of pinging sounds like they are in Alleyway. They sound a little more like full, like maybe earthy, kind of like they definitely are brought down.
Yeah.
In a way that makes it so they're maybe not as like striking on the ear. And I think that goes a long way because most of the sounds are similar and there's such a variety of sounds just like across the table that makes for a really interesting and pleasant listening experience, I feel. You know, you have the pinging of the pinball on all of the different obstacles. You have sort of like soft crashing noises when you hit some of the like pegs for things sticking out of the walls. It's like the it's not a pinwheel. It's the like flap that you can hit that spins the roulette in the middle of the board.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite sound when you hit the flap and it starts to spin. If you don't hit it fast enough, it makes the sound anyway, but it's slowed down, like you didn't hit it hard enough. And that's just one of those really cute touches that they didn't have to go with, and I'm just really glad that they did.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, everything sounded exactly like I would expect or exactly like I think it should. And they put in a lot of nice little touches, both audio and visually. I think some of these sprites are so cute and so good.
The little dancing gators with their like soft shoe that they have going on in the beginning. Oh my god.
That is so
my
good.
Heart.
Typically, we're used to a title screen. If you let it sit too long, it'll go into kind of a preview of the gameplay, all of that. No, this 3 little gators come out, start dancing, and it's adorable. It's awesome. I love it so much.
They just like wave themselves off as they walk, exit stage left, and the little track is playing. It was so good.
I love, when you lose a life or lose a ball. Yeah, it's not just like falling down and okay, it falls into the void. It falls down and then it goes to a special screen where you have this really super angry looking gator with its mouth open and its tongue out, and then it eats your ball, and then it's just kind of this big-eyed little cute thing, and it's just perfect. It's so good.
It's amazing. My wife and my 9-year-old were watching me. I was playing just before the show because I actually enjoy it and was wanting to get another little bit of time in before we recorded, and I lost a ball pretty early on, and the little gator ate the ball as it fell down the thing, and my wife was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. What is that? So it's very striking. All of the representations of the gators are just chef's kiss.
So in not your starting screen, but then the one below that. So the lowest screen.
Right.
The 3 things in the middle, if you hit it into...
I thought they were fish.
They look like Birdo to me.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Apparently they're supposed to be gators, but yeah, they open their mouth kind of in like a circle, which makes sense, right? It's trying to tell you the ball can go into this circle. So I understand that, but those are the only ones that I'm like, these aren't really gators, but they were still cute. I still like them.
Yeah, I thought they were big catfish.
Oh, I could see that.
I thought they were I thought they had like whiskers on the sides of the mouth, and they open their mouth, which I know they're not gators. Everything is like gator here, but catfish definitely live where gators live. It would have still been thematically appropriate.
Yeah. Our headcanon will be that those are catfish. Those aren't gators.
Heck yeah.
Visually, I also think they did a very good job of kind of making everything make sense. At no point was I really confused at what was going on, what the goal was. In the mechanics section, I mentioned I appreciate that the manual kind of goes through each screen and tells you the goal, but I played through it before looking at the manual. And I never had an issue with readability or intuitively figuring out, oh, this is what it wants me to do. So I think they did a very good job of also making it readable while extremely cute.
There is honestly very little that I have to say negative about the presentation and the aesthetics for the game. It definitely is very readable, and you can understand everything at a glance. But unfortunately, and I almost thought about putting this in the mechanics section, but I think it fits better here. The game is very smooth, and there's very little friction between the different screens that you go to for your actual playing of the stages of the table. But that comes at the cost of some pretty egregious screen flashing, because the way that it works is when you drop from a higher screen to a lower screen, or you hit your ball up from a lower screen to a higher screen, it's a instantaneous like scene transition. And if you are stuck with the ball bouncing between those scenes kind of frequently, it can be a little rough. It's not as bad as, say, Quirk, but if you end up getting the ball in a bad way, where it kind of goes back and forth between screens quickly, it can be a lot.
I could see that. Especially, a few of the places to get to the next screen, you have to kind of go up a chute or something. I could definitely see if it, for whatever reason, switches back and forth a bit, it being a little hard on the eyes. But all in all, I agree with you. I almost feel bad saying don't play this game because I love the aesthetics of it so much.
I have to ask, what was your favorite Gator?
Oh, I was literally just thinking this. Before looking at the manual, I probably would have said the one that eats your ball, or I did really like the one on the side on, I guess, the lowest screen, that if you got it in the little thing, it like tail flicked it out.
Yes.
I did really like that one as well. However, looking at the manual, one of the screens I didn't get to has these little gators in like little armor with a spear. I think that's my favorite.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about those actually. I don't remember if I actually got to play that screen. So I didn't get to see them, but for like the briefest flash. But yeah, they are so good.
Yeah.
I still think that my favorite is probably either the one walking back and forth at the top of the screen in the mini game where you have to get rid of the like eggs that it's walking on.
Yeah, bonus stage 1.
Or the ones that come out of the eggs, like you have to hit the eggs with the pinball and they hatch out.
Okay, yeah.
Those ones are very cute too.
Also, shout out to the little Cupid gators when you go to a bonus stage. They like hold the sign telling you what the bonus stage are, and they have the little wings. It's just so good. Honestly, all of the sprites are just so good, but...
Okay, actually, hold on though. Because if we're only talking about the ones in the game, then those are the answers that I'm going. If we're talking about any gator in the game at all, it's the dancing gators in the title screen.
Ooh, that's a good call. I say we open it up to all of them.
They're wearing little hats.
They are.
They've got little hats.
Again, they're all so good. I feel like this is probably one of the best feelings I've had about the aesthetics of a game, which is kind of comical because it's, probably one of the games that I would recommend the least.
Oh, the sweet irony. Oh, man. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. For me, I would say this is definitely worth the batteries. If you like pinball, there's a lot to love here. If you don't like pinball, I guess stay away. There's not enough to redeem it for someone who doesn't like pinball, but if you like pinball like I do, or just even just a passing interest in pinball, this is a very good representation of pinball digitally on the Game Boy.
I would agree with that. If you like pinball, play it 100%. It feels good. It looks good. I don't like pinball, so I would say don't play it. Look up the manual and look up the sprites and things like that. I think that's probably worth it, but... Yeah, if you like pinball, play it. If you don't. And I think that's where it lands for me.
It's quiz time.
Quiz time. All right, so after last week, I am sitting at 80% on the dot.
Yes.
So hopefully we can keep that or go up, but let's see.
Okay. Revenge of the Gator quiz. Question 1. Revenge of the Gator has only seen one re-release in its lifetime, and that was on the 3DS via the Virtual Console. It came available in 2013, and is still the only time that this game has seen itself on anything other than the Game Boy. And while the Virtual Console releases do tend to be pretty faithful to the original versions of the games, something was missing from Revenge of the Gator on the 3DS. What was it? A. The high score table. B. The bonus levels. C. The match play 2-player mode. Or D, trick question, the game is completely intact.
Oh, that Wikipedia article is holding its weight. It was match play, and I remember being sad about it because, like we both said, I would really like to play the match play game setting, but yeah, it was missing in the re-release.
That's right. So it was C. Match play was missing. The Virtual Console, it does have multiplayer, but it's only that pass and play that I briefly mentioned. So you basically are just like handing your 3DS back and forth, but it doesn't have the match play head-to-head mode. This could be because of how sensitive the match play mode was. In the manual, it actually specifically says when you're going to start the match play mode that you have to turn both Game Boys on at exactly the same time or it won't work.
Oh, wow.
So it's a lot to maybe expect that they would be able to time that right or whatever, bringing it forward onto the 3DS. But it still would have been really neat, you know, maybe if it comes out on the Switch, Nintendo Switch Online Game Boy games sometime. Who knows?
Who knows? And then we can finally do our Revenge of the Gator match play, hopefully.
That'd be good content. All right, that's your first one.
Still on question 1 streak.
Yeah, I know. On track. Okay. Question 2. We love ROM hacks here on Critical DMG, and Revenge of the Gators got a pretty sweet one. Called Revenge of the Gator Gold by hack developer Shen Mansell. It's a fairly comprehensive overhaul of the original game with a variety of quality of life and bug improvements. With full color, no slowdown, high score saving, and more, it really is a labor of love from a fan of this game. Is it true or false, though, that this hack came out before the Nintendo 3DS's Virtual Console re-release of Revenge of the Gator came out in 2013?
So did this come out after 2013? That's the question, right?
Yes. Did the hack for Revenge of the Gator come out before or after 2013?
So I do remember reading and thinking the ROM hack came out way more recently than I would have expected. And yeah, I think it was like the 2020s or something like that. Like it within the last 5 years or so. So I'm going to say it came out after 2013.
That's right. It was false. It did come out after.
Let's go. Again, prior knowledge.
So Revenge of the Gator Gold did come out in 2023, which was just a couple years ago for us here in 2025, but it was over a decade after the 3DS got the re-release of the original Revenge of the Gator. Not only does that make this a really recent hack, like Jeff was just saying, but the maker of the hack has also done similar upgrades for another game that we've already covered here.
Ooh.
Alleyway got the same full color quality of life treatment with Alleyway DX, which was also back in 2023. And I actually think I also mentioned that as well in the Alleyway episode. I might not, but I think I do.
Yeah, I think you do. I remember that for sure.
Yep. Same person. All right, let's see if your prior knowledge holds for this last one.
Let's see.
Question 3. HAL Laboratory, the developer of Revenge of the Gator and many, many other titles across video gaming history, will be gracing us with a number of games over the course of this journey that we're going on. While one of the most recognizable games is Kirby's Dream Land, like I said for people who didn't recognize HAL Laboratory, there's going to be plenty of other interesting games of theirs in our future. However, is it true or false that we won't be seeing another game from HAL Labs until sometime next year in 2026?
So that's in like the next month and a half, 2 months?
Something like that, yeah.
I feel like the odds are in my favor to say that's true because there are so many games. And that is not a lot of time. So, yeah, I'm going to say we won't see one until at least a year from now.
It is true.
Let's go.
The next time we'll see a HAL Labs game is going to be Shanghai, which is the Mahjong Solitaire game. And we won't see that until, I think according to our chart, it was sometime in February of 2026. So tune in for our thoughts on Game Boy Shanghai in a few months.
Yes. All right, 3 for 3. Not too bad.
Awesome.
Only up to an 81%, but...
incremental gains from this point forward.
Exactly. As we go further and further, like quiz number 500, is not going to have a whole lot of impact on my score, but I will take a perfect score any day.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, let's see about the audience question. Speaking of HAL Labs, which we are going to so often do, I'm sure, I found an absolutely adorable print ad from 1990 that promotes both Revenge of the Gator and Shanghai together in one place. It shows a ferocious-looking dragon standing amid an ocean of mahjong tiles, while a bunch of cartoony gators challenge it from a floating pinball table. It's super charming, a really cute piece of advertising art for the time, and it even shows off a certain round, mouthless HAL mainstay character standing between the two reptilian factions. And what I want to know is, what character was it?
You threw in mouthless, so I have no idea, but...
I know. If it was just like a round character, well, I mean, I'm sure some people would make some guesses, but nope, this one does not have a mouth.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the answer to that is. If anyone in the listening knows, definitely leave a comment and let us know what you think it is. Thanks for listening to Critical DMG. If you would like to support us further, please leave a review wherever you get your podcasts and maybe recommend us to a friend or anyone else you might know who would like the show. It really helps us out, and we appreciate it. That brings us to the end of Pinball for now. Unfortunately, we will be back. But...
what's next? Because that I actually don't know.
Join us next week when we talk about Boomer's adventure in Asmic Worlds. Is that how you say that? Asmic?
I have this one.
Oh, yeah?
I have this game. Yeah. Oh, okay. So I know this one already. Interesting.
Okay, yeah. I do like the Japanese title better. What? Tiki Tiki Asmic-kun?
Oh, Teke Teke Asmic-kun? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because that's their logo, their like mascot guy is Asmic, I believe.
Sounds like it's going to be an adventure game, hopefully. Something that I do quite like, so we'll figure it out.
We'll see.
Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.